Hi guys, and thank you for enrolling in this course on learning Blender 3D and being able to create over 50 models. So this video is just going to give you a brief introduction into how this course is going to be structured. So this course is going to be divided up into a series of different sections, and each section is going to be dedicated to one subtopic within Blender. The first topic is going to be on the Blender interface and navigation. This course will be focused on the very basics. That's just how to use Blender and how to navigate in the 3D world, because it works a little bit differently to using 2D applications such as GIMP and Adobe Photoshop. It's not a 2D world that you're working in, it's not a piece of digital paper, it's an actual world. So you have to learn how to move around that 3D world on your 2D screen. And don't worry, it's a lot easier than what it sounds. So we'll be doing that in the first section. Then we'll be moving on to Blender's key foundation, and that is the ability to create 3D models. 3D modeling is a crucial skill set to learn for anyone who's interested in digital entertainment, with the exception of the music industry, of course. Or then again, if you're looking at creating animations for songs and music, then again, this is a place to pick up the skill sets needed to create those models and to create those animations. So for Blender, modeling is key, and they are always looking to upgrade the ability to model all different shapes and sizes. So whatever you want to create, it's entirely up to you. This section is going to give you the skill set to do just that. Now this section is going to be in a way split between two different subsections. It's going to be split by the base tools, things like extrusions, the subdivide tool, different tools that you can use on the fly in Blender to create subtle changes. And then we're going to be looking at modifiers. Modifiers are shortcuts. They create major changes to our models in the press of a button. After that, we'll then introduce materials and textures. This is where we'll also introduce Blender's render engine system. So Blender has different rendering engines, each with their own specific skill sets. We're going to be looking at the two key ones, which are Blender Render and Cycles Render, and how we can apply materials and textures in each of these two rendering engines. Then we're going to move on to rigging. So rigging is the process of creating skeletons for more complicated models so that we can in turn create more complicated animations. For example, if you have a human model, then you can't create an animation of a human walking unless that human model has the necessary rig that it can use to move all of the different geometry, that's all of the different faces and all the little bits that make up the human model, in order to perform the animation. So we'll be learning about the process of rigging in that section. Then we'll be moving on to the next section, which is of course animation. So that's going to be where we are actually going to learn to use all of the different tools to create animations of practically any length and any quality that we desire. Once we've done that, we would have pretty much done all of the different subtopics that you would need to know in order to use Blender adequately. So we'll finish the course with an end of course project. This end of course project will give you the opportunity to take all of the skills that you've learned in the previous sections together to create your own model. Now in this end of course project, I will be creating a robot called BlenderBot. But you don't have to follow me in that end of section course, you can just create your own main model. Now that said, the title said create 50 models. So where do I create 50 models? So basically, at the end of some of our sections, we end up with some challenges, some special challenges, where based on the knowledge you have learned, you will be encouraged to go away and to learn how to create these models. Well, you'll know how to create the models, but it will be a matter of you actually going out and creating the models yourself. If you ever get stuck on any of these models that you feel that you really want to create, but you're just stuck on one thing, maybe it just doesn't look right, maybe you're creating, say, a spoon and you can't get it to be round enough, you can't get the edges to be round enough, always have a look into the discussions, post your problem, and then someone is sure to help you. I'm sure to help you as much as I can. So all of that will be coming up in this Learn Blender course, where we'll be creating over 50 models, including our end of course project. See you there.